Fly and Spider, a story by Rebbe Nachman of Breslov. I will tell you about the journey I had. There was once a king who was weighed down with many difficult wars, and overcame his enemies, conquered them, and took many prisoners. So the king arranged a great ball every year, on the day that he won the war. And there at the ball all the royal councillors and ministers attended, as is the way with kings. And there comedies were staged, and mockery was directed at all nations, including those of the Turk, and they mimicked each nation's customs and their conduct, and probably Jews were also mocked at. The king called for the book, wherein are recorded the customs and conduct of each nation everywhere. As the king opened the book, he saw that the performers had reproduced them exactly in their plays, because probably he who performed the plays had also seen the book. Meantime, as the king sat over the volume, he saw a spider crawling along the sharp edges of the pages of the book, and on the pages of the book there stood a fly. Probably the spider was going after the fly. Meanwhile, just as the spider was crawling towards the fly, a breeze came and lifted the page of the book, so the spider could not go to the fly. So she turned and pretended that she was going back, and did not want to go to the fly. Then the page settled back in its place, and again the spider tried to go to the fly. Again the page lifted itself and did not let her. So the spider once again turned back, and this happened several times. After that, the spider again went towards the fly, and so crawled till she managed to get one foot upon the page. Again the page lifted itself, and the spider got onto the page a little. The page settled down altogether till the spider remained beneath the page, between one page and another, and she crawled there, remaining deep, deep down till there was nothing left of her. And the fly, I will not tell you what happened to her. And the king saw all this and was filled with wonder. He understood that this was no empty matter, but that he was being shown something by it. And all the ministers noticed that the king watched and wondered about it. The king began to meditate what this could portend, and he dozed upon the volume. He dreamt that he held in his hand a diamond, and as he was gazing at it, there issued from it great numbers of people. So he threw down the diamond from his hand. Now, it is customary among kings that over them hangs their portrait, and above the portrait hangs the crown. He saw in his dream how the people who came out of the diamond took the portrait and cut off the head. Then they took the crown and threw it into the mud, and they ran to him to kill him. Then there lifted itself a page of the book on which he lay, and shielded him, so they could do nothing to him. They went away from him. The page returned to its place. Then they again wanted to kill him, and again the page lifted itself, and this took place several times. The king very much wanted to see what page was his shield, protected him. What customs are recorded there, from which nation it derives. But he was afraid to look, and he began to scream. All the ministers who sat there heard, and wanted to wake him. But it is not polite to waken a king. So they banged around him to wake up, but he did not hear. Meanwhile, there came to him a mountain and asked him, "Why are you screaming? I have been sleeping for such a long time, and no one has woken me up. And you have woken me up."